What's up, folks? The Sportsbook Killa, UFC Vegas 95. I know y'all still reeling from last week. We had a good week, last Saturday. All my strong bets hit, all my strong prop bets hit, and my strong parlays hit as well. Everything 100% accurate last week. I hope you guys enjoyed that money, and we're going to come back and try to do it again. I got to give you a little disclaimer, though. This fight card right here is tough. It's going to be a lot of little traps in here, a lot of pitfalls. I'm going to do the best I can, and maybe I can help people balance off their losses with the over-unders and maximize the wins with the over-unders. Let's start with UFC Vegas 95. We got the heavyweight division. Marcin Tybura going up against Sergey Spivak. Marcin Tybura is 38 years old. His boxing's weak, but he is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He has good cardio. His wrestling's weak, though. So taking it to the ground he isn't the best at doing that. Sergey Spivak, he has good wrestling, great takedowns, but his boxing is weak. Spivak is 28 years old. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go ahead and take Spivak on this one. Yeah, I have to. I got to take Sergey Spivak because of the 10-year age gap, and Spivak can wrestle, so Tybura won't be able to just manhandle him, take him to the ground and do whatever he wants. That won't happen with Spivak. I'm also going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round and that the fight starts the third round. Next fight, we got the men's bantamweight division. Chris Gutierrez going up against Javid Basharat. Gutierrez is 32 years old, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt, strong leg kicks, great boxing, good cardio. Javid Basharat, he trains over at Extreme Couture, and he's good. He is very good. His boxing's good. He's a hard puncher. He has really good takedown defense, and he has really good ground game. But the thing about it is you have to give up 3-1 odds if you want Basharat. And if you don't want to take this bet, I fully understand because Basharat has a very good chance of pulling this out. But I'm going to ride with Chris Gutierrez. I think he'll be the better striker here. He'll definitely be the better leg kicker here. He loves to kick legs, and he's excellent at it. So I'm going to take a chance on Chris Gutierrez pulling off the upset. I won't put him in too many parlays, but I'm going to try him out and see what he does. I like his fight style. He's a very good striker. I'm hoping he can get ahead with the leg kicks and outpoint Basharat, and hopefully Gutierrez can defend the takedowns. That's what I'm more so concerned about. If he can defend takedowns and it remains standing, Gutierrez has a very good chance of pulling off this upset. If he doesn't, I'm not going to worry too much as long as it goes to a decision because I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop and the over 2.5 round prop in this one. I can see this one going the distance. Next fight, we got the men's featherweight division. Damon Jackson going up against Chepe Mariscal. Now, this is going to be a very good fight, actually. Damon Jackson is a really good wrestler, has a good ground game, really good ground game. And he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. He has very good takedowns, but his boxing's rather weak, and his cardio's poor. He normally fades in around the beginning of that third round. He usually starts to fade. Chepe Mariscal, he's a judo black belt, Japanese jiu-jitsu black belt, and a Brazilian jiu-jitsu purple belt. He has very fast hands, a very strong chin, and he is a hard puncher. And he's on a 6-fight win streak. So I got to go with Chepe Mariscal in this one. I have to. Chepe Mariscal, he's one of those fighters that can do everything. If you take him to the ground, he'll fight you down there and bust you up down there. If you stand up with him, you might hit him a few times, but he'll bust you up as time goes on. He'll find a way to get in there and get something on you and hit you. And he can kick too. So that's what I like about Chepe Mariscal. He got everything. Punches, kicks, flying knees. You don't know what's coming. Damon Jackson is good, but I'm going to have to lean Chepe Mariscal in this one. And I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight goes over 1.5 rounds and that the fight starts the third round with DraftKings. Next fight, we got the women's bantamweight division. Yana Santos going up against Chelsea Chandler. My pick here, okay, let me give you something on Yana Santos. She has really good kickboxing, good, versatile kicks. Her takedowns are weak, her ground game's weak, and her takedown defense is weak. Chelsea Chandler is a big girl. She's just thick, and she's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. She has a good ground game. Her boxing is not good, though. Her takedowns aren't good, but I think she can get Santos down. I really do. I think she'll be able to get Santos down. I'm going to go with Chelsea Chandler to win this. I think she'll take Santos down. And this is an upset pick, actually, because right now Chelsea Chandler's at plus 114. So I'm going to take Chandler to win, and I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop and the over 2.5 round prop, both on separate parlays. Next fight. We got the men's welterweight division. Nikolai Veretnikov going up against Danny Barlow. Very interesting fight. Veretnikov is a last-minute replacement, but didn't really matter who Barlow went up against. Unless it was somebody really sensational, I'm going to be going with Danny Barlow. This guy, his striking's next level. He's good, fast, crisp, has great cardio. He's a hard puncher, very fast strikes. Fights out of the southpaw stance and has very good boxing. Veretnikov, the thing that kind of makes me a little nervous about this is he has great cardio too, even though this is his UFC debut. So it's going to be interesting to see if he, how he does in there. But his boxing's good. And he has a really good ground game. So that's what kind of concerns me, is that he does have a ground game, and I'm not so sure Barlow skills can match his on the ground, but Barlow has pretty decent takedown defense. So we'll see. It hasn't been tested against any real serious UFC grapplers, so it's kind of hard to even say that. But I'm going to lean Barlow in this one. I am. And like I said, I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop, and I'm going to take the fight starts second round prop. I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop and the fight starts third round prop. Sorry about that. Next fight. We got the men's flyweight division. Alan Nascimento going up against Jafel Filho. Now, this is where there can be a little pitfall, because I can see this being a close decision going to Filho. I can. I'm going to pick Alan Nascimento to win. I am, but this is one of those fights where Nascimento, he doesn't have the best cardio. That's the thing. And if he starts to run out of gas, Filho can end up pulling out a third round to make it a very interesting decision. So proceed with caution on this fight right here. But the pick is Alan Nascimento. Okay, let me give you some ballistics on both of these guys. Both of these guys are jiu-jitsu black belts, Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belts. Both of them have really good ground games. Nascimento, the reason I lean him is because he's fast everywhere. He's fast boxing. He's quick attack. He's fast on the ground. His transitions are very fast on the ground. So that's the reason why I go with Nascimento. But Filho is tough. He's very tough. He got some moves on the ground too, and he's a very hard puncher. He's the fighter that got Mokaev in that knee bar. And Mokaev almost... most fighters would have tapped there, but Mokaev let his knee bend all kind of crazy ways, and he didn't tap, and he ended up winning. But I got to go with Nascimento, and I'm going to take the fight. The fight starts third round prop, and I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop on that one. Next fight. We got the men's bantamweight division. Tashiyomi Kazami going up against Charalampos Gregorio. Now, this is a fight where I could look at these stats, I could look at these guys fight all day and all night, and still not really be able to pick a winner that I'm confident in. So I won't pick a winner in this one. Tashiyomi Kazami, he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. His boxing's weak, his takedowns are weak, and his last two fights he's been knocked out. Charalampos Gregorio, he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. He has a good ground game and good boxing. He's also a karate black belt. If I had to pick, which I'm not going to bet on this fight, I probably would lean Gregorio. I would. And I'm also going to take the fight starts the second round prop. So I'm not going to pick a winner here. But if I was betting on this one, I would lean Gregorio on this one. But I'm going to leave this one alone, and I'm just going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round and see if I can pull that one off. Next fight, we got the women's bantamweight division. Carol Hossa going up against Penny Kianzad. Now, this should be a nice, slow, boring fight. It should. So, in this particular situation, I'll take a boring fight. I'm going to lean Carol Hossa in this one. She's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Her boxing's weak, her grappling's weak, her wrestling's weak. But let me just hope that, well, I know for sure from watching Penny Kianzad, her takedown defense is weak and her ground game is weak. So we may, and she's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. So we may end up seeing just a stand and strike fight with these ladies. And if that's the case, I give Carol Hossa an edge. So I will be putting Carol Hossa in a parlay or two and see if she can hold up. She is a strong puncher. She can hit. She's just not active. She's not a very active fighter. But I'm going to lay in Carol Hossa in this one. And I expect a long, boring fight. So I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop and over 2.5 round prop to go with the nice, long, boring fight. Hopefully they'll bless us with that and we'll be able to get some over money. The next fight. Oh, I'm waiting for this one. These are the heavyweights. Honata Denise going up against Carl Williams. I like my Carl Williams. I mean, Honata Denise, he's a 3-time kickboxing world champ and Muay Thai black belt. And he's a very hard, versatile striker. In his UFC debut, he knocked out Austin Lane, but everybody and their mama knocked out Austin Lane. That's not a big deal. Tons of people have done it. I'm sure you'll probably do it in your lifetime, too. Everybody has done it, so it's not a big deal. Carl Williams, though, trains at Extreme Couture, and his wrestling is great. It is phenomenal. His takedowns are great. This guy is strong. He's a hard puncher, and he has decent boxing. Only problem is, from all that grappling, his cardio tends to fade on him from time to time, but he usually gets his second win and comes through. So I'm going to be betting on Carl Williams. I am. Now, this is one I'm going to go kind of heavy on because I like Carl Williams. I love the way he wrestles. I'm also going to take the prop bet that the fight starts round 2 and that the fight starts round 3. Next fight. We got the men's featherweight division, Yusuf Zalal versus Jarno Aarons. Now, this is an interesting fight because when I looked at these guys fight, I looked at the way both of these guys fought Singwoo Choi. And what I didn't understand was Jarno Aarons was busting Choi up, like beating him up. And then when I looked at him fight, when I looked at Choi and Zalal, Choi was beating up Zalal. Zalal could do nothing in the stand-up and couldn't take him down. So I'm rolling with Jarno Aarons in this one. I'm gonna go for the upset. I am. You might not want to roll with me on this pick, but I'm definitely gonna take my chances with Jarno Aarons. I like the way this guy, he fights with heart. He can box, and he has fast hands. He can throw them hands too. He don't have no problem throwing those hands. Only way this fight is lost by Aarons is if Zalal was allowed to take him down and dominate him on the ground. Zalal is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and he has a phenomenal ground game, and he has really good boxing. So if he can take him down, then I got a whole nother situation on my hands. But I'm going to take a chance with Jarno Aarons pulling out a decision, and I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the 2nd round and that the fight starts the 3rd round. Next fight, and this is the last fight on the card. We got the women's strawweight division, Stephanie Luciano going up against Talita Alencar. It's not a lot of fights. These women are like 5-1, and Stephanie Luciano's like 5-1-1, and Talita Alencar is like 5-0-1. But the difference between these ladies is one is a very expert striker, Luciano. Stephanie Luciano is a Muay Thai black belt. Her striking's not strong. It's rather weak. She has real good takedown defense though. Talita Alencar is a 6-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champ. She's a 2nd-degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. However, her boxing's weak. She has decent takedowns, and her ground game is on point. It's phenomenal. But if she can't take Luciano down, I'm going to lose this bet because I'm going to take a chance on Talita Alencar pulling off this upset. I'm not going to go super heavy. I wouldn't advise people to go super heavy on these kind of fights here. These ladies are relatively new to the UFC, and anything can happen. But I'm going to see. I'm going to put her in the parlay. I'm going to put Alencar in a parlay and see if she can get the takedown and the submission. See if she can pull it off. Or at least, usually when Alencar gets top control, they don't get back up. Usually. Either she gets the submission or they just spin the rest of the round on their back. So let's hope Ms. Alencar can get this victory here. If she doesn't, I'm going to take the prop bet. I should be able to hit the prop bet that the fight starts the 2nd round and the fight starts the 3rd round. If Alencar doesn't get the sub and the win, then more than likely it'll just be a long, boring fight where Stephanie Luciano will throw a few strikes and run around, and that'll be that. But I'm going to see if Alan Carr can pull this off for me. And like I said, I'm betting that the fight starts the second round and that the fight starts the third round. Good luck this Saturday, folks. It's a good fight card. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I'm looking forward to hearing y'all comments afterwards. Good luck.